Last video what we have developed was having a home as well as post and add post all the routing with the nested routing. To verify that, what we can see is every time we have the post, it doesn't change, but when you add post or something, we should be able to see all the changes in the routing. But since already loaded, so we can try it out. So here we have the common. Let's go to home first, and if you go to post, you'll see that we have the chunk loaded. So that's how the nested routing works, and we have those components. In build mode it will be pretty different, but that's how we use the lazy loading. In this part of this video, we gonna integrate with Angular material. Angular material is a UI component, so which has couple of nice UI, and I kind of like most of those. So let's start with something. So let's get started. Now they make it very easy. Just use a ng-add, and they're gonna ask a lot of follow-up question to help you to what part of the things that you want in your application, all those stuff. So let's do that. So when I run that, I have it will ask me that do you want to install this. So let's say yes. Meanwhile, if you would like to know what are the CSS it can have, there are a number of CSS that you can import. They talk about schema. What I want is probably a purple Angular material typography style, yes, and include and enable animation. We don't want to animation, so do not include because it's not required. So now we have it already, that they will gonna import the CSS and everything. We can just stop and start the server again. So once we have the server already is running, we can go back and we'll see that our font and everything got little changed because of the CSS that we have imported, which is cool, and was fairly easy, I would say. So next thing is we want to add those as a button link. So to add that, let's say we go to button and we'll see that there are link button, right? So we're gonna use that. So to use that, we have something like this. So it's just more of like mat button we need. If we go home, we guys just can say mat button. Now notice that when I have this, it will ask me to install a module, button module. Now we don't have any import, right? And for us, we need to be able to import the mat button. So you say import mat anchor, right? And if we import it, you'll see that it is imported. So everything in Angular we need to import as a module, so it's reusable. It's very useful. Now we'll see that our first button is like this, which is cool. Same thing we're gonna do for the second button. Now one thing I want is, I don't want it as a list, I want it like a navigation. So for that, Angular also have something called nav item, I believe. It should be somewhere. Yeah, toolbar. So I want to be able to set something at toolbar like this, right? So let's go to example and get the first one. Now let's import it here. Now there will be a lot of import that we need now. So for example, toolbar, icon button, mat icon. We don't need the icon yet, but let's use it. And then first link is home, so we can say this one. Let's say this is the home for us, so we're gonna use this as a home. We're gonna say we don't need any of these, and we're gonna say same as router link as home. Same thing, instead of here it will my app, we can keep it. Now this we can say one of is post and one of is create post, either or. So let's do that. Same as a, we don't need all of this is for accessibility. Now here is the icon, and for icon we can say plus. I believe plus is the icon. Now let's remove this for now, temporary, and these all we can remove. Let's see how it looks like. Now yeah, we have the app and we don't have any icon. I did a mistake probably. Plus is not icon. So if we go back to mat icon, let's see what are the list of mat icon we have. We don't have a list. We can do search in here. So when you go to icon, they should have a link somewhere to find all the icon. Angular material icons. Okay. No. Okay, this is open source, but at least we can do. So for add post or data something, we can do this maybe. Whatever it is, it all works. Yeah, so we have this, but I think I would rather add the add post or just post, because it's the post listing, right? So I can click here is okay. Now I don't need icon button, just mat button. Yeah, so something like this. Maybe I want a different color. So what we can do is colors equal to accent. mm, nah, um, let's see all the color. Let's go with um, hmm, one. Yeah, this works. So we can go root and then post, but now this is the icon, I don't need that. So instead of what I want is I want this. So this way we have the list of icon that we need. Now example spacebar is not nothing we have done. I believe they have divider. Yeah, so we can use that here. I don't know how the divider works. They do have a props, either is vertical. Yeah, seems to be not working, so I would rather just add a hyphen big one. And that gives me break. Do I need in, I don't know. Previously example spacebar. Oh, something is wrong. Let's see in our toolbar. Ah, so in the toolbar it was a button, then span. Um, what if I do just both as a button? Yeah, this works, but I don't need a button, right? It can be a link with the h reference, maybe. Okay, so this is better. Now there are multiple ways this could be done, and I believe if I just use something like this, that might also works. I don't know. Let's say I don't have the h on tag, because my h on tags looks like weird. Oh, oh, I could use the h on tag also. The problem I have is, what if I do mat, I think it's a mat button or anchor button. What I'm trying to do is like this link. So this is mat button, so this should work. Yeah, so now this is fine, but h1 can go inside, right? In that case, then now my font will be bit upsize. Yeah, so this is fine now. Okay, yeah, it was a lot. So now I can go post, add post, and this again. This could be a drop down, right? I feel like instead of this I could just click here and add and this, but I will not go ahead and do that. I mean, it's a lot of UI thing. And then what I could do is for this one, right, I have a add, and probably I want to go back to root on the post. Now if I click here, it's just not horizontal, so maybe adding this button on top is more sense. So I'm gonna move ahead this button to in here. Now this can be removed. So in that way I have both add post and add post, okay, and my root. So maybe this one as home. Okay, so we have everything that we need for now in terms of UI. Now we also want to be able to add the form, right? So whenever I go to list or post, we want to add the form. So to do that, let's use also Angular material. For the list, I want to use the table. So Angular has a table already, something like this. We're gonna copy the data for now. So for TypeScript, we have this constant data that we can import. So let's go to the list and TypeScript here. Let's keep that data here, and then on the component we have this. Okay, now on the HTML side we just only have this. Let's go to HTML and this. Now our data source is that source that we define here, as we have seen, as well as all the data. Right now, remember, we have this math table that we need to import, cell difference, definition, also cell, math cell, and cell definition, header definition, and header row, math row. Okay, so we have all the import done already, as well as, remember, all those imports are here because we are using standalone. If we didn't use standalone, we could use all the import directly in the post module, and that will also work. Let's see how it looks like now. Now we go refresh the page. um not a note tier. Let's see what's going on. So we have all the lists, and what we forgot to import, oh, header definition. Let's do it again. Okay, so we have the table. Now you have noticed that our content are a bit edgy, right? And that is where layout is useful. Now layout, what we can do is we can import the card, header, title, and then we can say post title, mat card content. We can move this inside content. Now you will see that we have card around it. Okay, title is not imported. So we have this card on the around. Now we want a padding also around it probably. So we can add the padding. Padding maybe 15 pixel. Let's see. Yeah, so this looks okay. Now we need a margin around it. So here we can add the margin. Now this is usually not a best practice. We could use other CSS library to add those utility function like tailwind or something. Since we are just showing a demo, this should be sufficient for us. Now we have this margin and we add the padding around it. So now our table is done. Let's go back to add post. Add post, what we want is we want to be able to add the form, right? So for that we have something called input form, something like this. If we see on example, we want something this input as well as a text area. So let's copy this. We have new, import the fields and label and math input. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so we have that animation module. We don't have animation module. We could import that. Remember when you use the CLI on part 1, we didn't use import that. Let's see now. This is also work. Okay. Provider from Brasman have already been loaded. If you need to access common directive, you know what? I can remove all this um, for now and input all of this in the module itself. Let's remove this, and since I'm in the post, I could use just a post module, app component, here we can do some work with the app module. And then in the config, we have this route. Now we can say no noob animation. In that way we can get rid of all the animation. I'm pretty sure, yeah, so we don't have animation. um but also, if you notice, it's just when we click it just so not nice. Maybe we just add animation using provide animation async. Yeah, this more nice, at least have some animation. I'll keep it. So but then form also I want to be able to do some work. So for that I can import a CSS that will gonna just make the form looks better. So what we can do is, in the new, we can target the form, and then we can say mat form field, because we have every form is under mat form field. We can say display flex. In that way all the form will be one flex row. Yeah, now we need a button also here. To add the button we just can say button add push mat raise button. We have this. So, and that's all we have in terms of UI. We have the post as well as add post. In the next video we gonna learn about how to add the RxJS as well as work with HTTP module, and also we're gonna create some NgRx operators. So see you on the next video.